Welcome. You are not in the shot. Come on, come closer. How did that change? Oh, I changed it. This is Aisha Elliott, and this is Black Girl from Eugene. Oh, wait, you can scoot back this direction? Hold on, I just changed the computer. Okay, now you guys know how I do. You know I be situating myself as I come on. So this is Aisha Elliott. This is Black Girl from Eugene. I am here on Easter Sunday with Clippa Cartier. I did not want to mispronounce that. So I want to get started, and thank you for being here. Thank you for being here every single Sunday. And before we get started with Clippa, I want to do, of course, the announcements I always do. Happy Easter for those who celebrate. I want to give a shout out to my son. We're going to talk about this a little bit, who just confirmed himself Catholic. I am not religious, but I want to celebrate his dedication to his own growth and journey. So congratulations, Quentin, on that. Also, I want to give a shout out. It's almost been a full year of my Patreon, and some of my Patreon I had at this time last year I had 13 Patreons.
Really?
Yeah, 13, and like 4 of them were my family.
Hard work pays off.
Right, and so now that has more than, I have like 100 and something, over 100, which is great. But I like the way that I do this show is based on what my Patreons give me and support for me. So I want to tell everybody who came in April, May, and June of last year, and those who are with me from the very beginning, 1 year solid, you guys. Thank you so much. We're here. We're doing it, right? I also wanted to give a shout out to nurturely.org. I am the equity advisor for Nurturely, and it's a perinatal nonprofit working on perinatal wellness and loss. And we are doing a push for donations. We are trying to work towards a grant that would secure our programming, inclusive programming, and our positions and employees. $5 will definitely support this grant that we are trying to go for. You guys check out the page. You will be impressed with the work that the executive director is doing and that the programs that we're all creating. Nurturely.org. So after this, we are going to definitely have Clippa's music. He is a rapper. We're going to have his music attached, so please look at the video as this completes. We're going to have links everywhere that this is going to be on. So thank you so much for being here. I don't think there was anything else I needed to add to that. I can't really remember. But anyway, let's get started. Clippa.
What's up?
Thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. If you're comfortable with your mask, you can have it. If you're not,
yeah, I can.
Okay. I just came from Portland yesterday, so I wanted to make sure I had my mask on just because, I don't know them people.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know them people. But I was at Mass, and I was at Catholic Mass. Why does it have to be 4 hours long? But I was at Catholic Mass last night, and I was just kind of noticing everyone had their mask on, but I was like, we are not 6 feet apart, right?
Yeah.
So I was just like, let me make sure I just keep my mask on and be good about it. But anyway, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so happy that we like crossed paths and you reached out and we were gonna do this. We were talking before the show, and I was curious about like what your background was and where you're from. So you were actually born in Eugene?
Yeah. And raised,
where is it?
Raised here the whole time. Yeah.
Raised here, and you're 26.
26.
So you've never been out of here?
No, I've been out many times, but I'm from here. Like my family is from Phoenix, Arizona. So like we've been out there. I've been to Washington, all over the place.
Right, but you've been raised here, went to school here. Okay.
Yeah.
So I was talking about like whether or not today is like Easter, religion, and all that background, right? And just having to have, not necessarily have it in your family, but how to. We were just talking about like the fact that my son is Catholic, and nobody in my side of the family is Catholic. Like we're not Catholic. He was never raised religious. Like we're spiritual, and we have like a philosophy of understanding about the connection to spirituality and Egyptology, so like kind of an ancient idea about before the religion was religion, you know? So he was raised in that idea, but for him to go out and kind of seek bold, right? Bold moves. You guys are the same age, by the way.
Yeah.
So I say that because the bold part, right? Yeah. It's one of the things that from your background and from your life experience, you're kind of going out against the mold right now.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah, definitely.
So tell me about, like, you grew up, you said that your parents are mixed, One parent is mixed.
One's white, one's black Mexican. That's
Okay.
pretty much it.
Right. You identify as black.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, in living in Eugene and Junction City,
Yeah.
that must have been difficult.
Yeah, to say the least. I mean, freaking Junction City was bad. Like, I had one friend there. His name was Cody, but he was black too.
Mhm.
It was just us two, pretty much, and yeah, it was pretty crazy out there.
Yeah, you had one other friend.
Yeah, he was black.
And
I
that
found
was-
the one black friend, and I just
Was he one you're talking about was dark skinned and you were light skinned?
Yeah, he is
You were-
dark skinned. He is dark skinned. He's over in the army right now.
Really?
Yeah, he helps him out a lot. He's a good investor in this stuff.
Really?
Oh yeah, he invests a lot. He's doing some crazy training for the army and stuff too.
Is he in the country?
Yeah, he's in the country.
Okay.
He just got done with like a training thing, but he's going to Kentucky now to live there for a couple of years.
Oh wow, Kentucky.
Yeah,
Well, y'all be making it
he was
hard.
already in the Navy for like 4 or 5 years.
Oh really?
But then he went back to the army. Yeah.
Okay. Ooh, I'm like Kentucky, like why?
I know. I was like the dirty South.
Oh, right, right, and like the dirty.
He thought that was the North. I was like, what?
What?
The hell?
Oh wait, Junction City. We
Yeah.
have failed the children. We have failed them.
Backwards.
Wait, hold on. Good morning, Cassie. So living in Junction City. Now, what I was talking about when we first met, what compelled me to your story was that you had, first of all, identifying as black, right? Do you have siblings?
Yeah, I do.
That's right. You talked about a couple brothers that were doing some stuff. Anybody else?
My sisters.
Okay.
Yeah, I have 2 sisters.
2 sisters. So you come from a moderately big family.
I'm the youngest. Yeah.
Oh, you were the baby too?
Yeah.
Okay, so that makes you bold even outside of the fact
Yeah.
that you're the youngest. All right, so I'm trying to like paint a picture of how you grew up, being that, did all your siblings identify as black as well?
I think it was weird because before we could identify as that, like it was kind of forced upon us because people would like call us nigger, like stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it kind of just created a mentality in the first place. Like,
That's interesting. So
Yeah.
you're saying because people called you the N-word, you were like, oh, okay, I guess I
joined
am
sides, yeah.
black.
I was like, yeah, and I ended up, I just clicked better with black people. I don't know, but I have a lot of white friends. Like,
Right, of course.
no doubt.
So, that's right. When you were talking about how, because I mean, people look at people and just decide what you are.
Yeah,
right?
that's why I always tell people, like, they decide who you are.
Right.
Pretty much because, like, if you're getting called stuff, like, I was getting, like, drinks thrown at me younger and stuff, still, like, you're getting names, but not, like, drinks and stuff like that, but
Right.
then, like, you know what I'm saying, throw it at me, and I'd be like, oh, shit.
The N-word.
And, yeah, and then I'd be
So-
like, I hate you white people, but
Right.
then, like, I'm just like, my dad's white, too, so.
Right. So this is complicated, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you've got white folks throwing stuff at you. How old were you when you started getting that kind of treatment?
I was young. I was pretty young. It was probably like, 5th grade?
5th grade?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. The first time that I was physically assaulted like that, like I was spit on, I was in 4th grade.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was standing by myself at a bus stop, and 3 grown white men
Yeah.
in a truck stopped and spit at me,
Yeah.
and then kept going. So this is not, and I say that for people who are listening. This kind of treatment for people is not uncommon. But what's interesting about both of us is that we're super light skinned, right? That
The
we're
good side.
what is
I
it?
thought I said the good side.
The good side. See, okay, so some people may not get that joke because they don't understand what we're talking about right now. But it's like the idea that like when I moved down south, they were laughing at me like, oh, you think you're black? That's cute, right? They were like, that's
what people
real
here
cute.
do, like they're dark skinned. And,
Yeah,
and there's like some people I know from back in the days.
Let me teasing you because you like, yeah.
They're like, you're barely brown. I'm just like, yeah, well, it's a deeper culture than just the, outside of the skin color.
It's
like,
spiritual.
Yeah.
It's
If
connection.
you don't have the connection, then yeah.
Right. So when you were going through it, you were actually like, in your connection, you were like
I was
just
lost.
being a
I was
kid.
honestly lost when I was in Junction City, like, cause I kind of forgot, like what I was doing. I got so involved over there, but I got it back when I got to Eugene. Like,
Really?
Yeah, cause like, I don't know, it's just I was surrounded by all white people, so it was like it was hard to get connection, and I wasn't living like with my dad, which he is white, but he supports like the black culture,
Right.
but like my mom doesn't do that stuff.
So your dad's white but supports black culture, but
And
your
my
mom
mom's
didn't.
black, and she does. Yeah, like
Your
she
mom's
doesn't-
black
she
but
doesn't-
does
she
not
doesn't-
support black
It's
culture.
not. It's not.
But
she
that
doesn't
makes sense
support
though.
Black culture. It's
Yeah.
just like she just. I don't know. She's on a different level.
But you know what? Some people, yeah, we talked about the level of religion, right?
Yeah.
But some people who are black, and I talked about this last week on my episode, just because you're black does not mean that you actually connect spiritually to
Yeah,
to
not at all.
blackness,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so for white folks to see a black person assume that it's like all the same, or that people are qualified to speak on certain subjects because of their lived experience,
Yeah.
is not fair at
Yeah.
all, right? So that makes sense, you know? But it makes sense also because I was talking to some folks about having mixed kids who pass and having like feeling kind of guilty that they're like relieved that their child will not have to deal with being called the N-word and spit on by
Yeah.
5th grade. But you don't really pass like that. You could
Yeah.
you could definitely be black if someone walked by you, but you could also be like a ton of other things that people
Yeah.
were like,
people like we used to have people like call people whitewash or whatever.
Mhm.
Like you ain't black, blah blah. But that's the thing. The definition of black of nowadays culture is like, what's up, gangsta? Like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? What's up, thug? Like you can't be anything other than that, or else you're white.
oh, is that how it feels like now? Because we're like I said,
That's
you're
how
my
it always
son's
felt.
age,
If
and
you
so
don't
I'm
say,
like,
if you don't say like, what's up with that? Like, you know what I'm saying? You're
Right.
not black. Like just
the way
'cause
that white
'cause
folks have defined it.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
if I'm not pants sagging, blah blah. If I'm not out here thugging, like, and which are like I did all that shit. Like, but what it's just weird how they define you, like the.
Right. I want to make sure that everyone here can understand and hear you. Hey, good morning, Julianne. And so, no one's really saying that they can't hear you, so let's keep going. All right, so basically, when I'm asking you, like, how people are looking at you and defining you that way, white folks are defining your journey. You're already being called the N-word by 5th grade, right? You got the dichotomy at home, you know, a black mom that's not pro-black necessarily.
I got a white British stepdad too.
And a white British stepdad.
Yeah,
So,
he's really short too.
Is it And you're not really short. How tall are you?
6'4".
6'4", right? And so I know when you walk in, like, dang, you and my son have like, he's 6'2", but y'all have the same kind of demeanor. But he's very dark skinned.
Yeah.
So I say all of this because I want people to quite understand what you had to work up against to try to find your identity in the middle of all of this and actually grow from that space. But at the same time, by the time you were fighting everybody, I mean, when you're physically attacked in 5th grade, now you understand which lane you're in,
Yeah.
right? And which way you gotta go.
Yep.
So from there, did you feel positive about yourself, or were you feeling like?
Nah, I couldn't, that whole time in Junction City, I lived there from 5th grade until sophomore year.
Oh, sophomore year is when you, right?
Yeah, that's when I finally cracked and I started beating people up. Like that
Really?
I was actually with my friend Cody, yeah, and this dude just said some stupid like racist shit, like. But here's the thing, I was pretty like popular over there, so I had a lot of friends, but there's still like the outskirt people who didn't agree with that stuff. So
Yeah.
I just cracked off on the dude, and then I got sent to my dad's house
Right.
back here in Eugene.
Back here in Eugene.
Yeah.
So this is the way that I'm thinking about this is like I'm looking at you where this definition of black has been given to you, which is basically stating and saying that you have a criminality to you
Mhm.
already, right? Because people are calling you the N-word, they're putting you in a place, sagging your jeans, speaking like whatever, that identifies you as black. And then as your career has taken off, you have a manager who's trying to actually look at your looks and look at your stature and be like, we need to make you a sex object, which is like, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's like
I
the
guess,
opposite direction
Yeah.
of this. And you're
Yeah.
like kind of uncomfortable either way it goes. You're like, dang.
I don't mind it. I mean,
Look
but,
at I don't mind being a sex object, it's fine. That's fine.
yeah, I mean that's okay. But no, they just my manager, he's funny as hell. He's my good friend.
Yeah.
From back in the day, we used to be roommates.
Mhm.
But he's real business savvy, technical.
Yeah.
Dude, he's like a coder and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
So he knows what people are gonna look for.
Yeah, he knows. He's pretty good.
Now people are coming at you. You said in your DMs being like a little aggressive about. Your,
Oh yeah, they do. Yeah, they those girls out there, they be crazy. They just be writing me some like borderline creepy stuff. So I know how it feels, girls.
Right? You're like uncomfortable right here. So I want to go back to where you went from Junction City to Eugene. So you said when you told me the story when we were first on the phone, you were telling me that you got arrested when you were 15. Is that what the, did I get that right? Or
Yeah,
were you
yeah,
older?
yeah.
Okay, what happened?
I got into, I was at North Eugene. Was the first time I think I got arrested. Um, but I used to steal my mom's car
Mm-hmm.
when I was like 13, and the cops would pull me over and shit, and then they'd just be like, man, what are you doing? Like, it's like 3 in the morning. And I'm just
Really?
like, yeah, I'm like 13 years old. Yeah, I used to get caught, and the cops would just call my mom and my stepdad, and they'd come and yeah, that'd be all bad.
Right, yeah, you were bad, right? Yeah, I was too.
Yeah, I was bad too.
I never got pulled, I never got caught though.
Yeah, me and my brother, my bad, Josh, but we used to fucking put that stuff in, put it in reverse and like slowly walk it down the driveway,
Mhm.
and then just like we'd push it all the way down around the corner, and then we'd start it.
Right.
So,
That's
like,
how
they
you
could
guys
hear
got into it.
Yeah.
See y'all, I'm telling you, my mom and dad are probably listening, and I'm telling you, we be bored out here. They like, like I don't even want to tell the stories that I used to do, but like that is very similar to what
Yeah.
I used to
Yeah,
put.
don't
I used to
yourself-
put sticks where the tires were,
Yeah.
so when I rolled in, that the tires were exactly in the place of the sticks.
Damn.
Yeah, that's how precise I had tried to be. And you know
That
who
is
caught
good,
me?
though.
You know who caught me?
Who?
My older brother.
Really?
He was like,
He
now
told
you,
on
ha-"
you?
No, he was like, now you have to do whatever I say,
Yeah, that's
so that
good.
I won't tell on you.
That was actually really good.
But yeah, but I kind of knew. Anyway, she can tell me later, Mom, did you know I was taking your car when I was 14, 15 years old? Anyway, but I'm like, okay. So by the time you were fighting a lot, right?
Yeah, a lot.
I want to say, like, my experience of living here, like I said, you're my son's age, actually. And so I bring this up because I want to talk about, like, the age difference and the experiences that are parallel to each other.
Mhm.
Like, so that means that the dynamic of our experiences aren't changing quite fast enough, where that I can have the same experiences as a woman, too, that I'm literally physically fighting people
Yeah.
because they're calling me names and teachers aren't standing up for me, and I don't have a community of black folks around me to stand up with me. I think
Yeah.
I fought in middle school, especially when I lived in Cottage Grove, until I
Ooh.
until I got to 7th grade, I was probably fighting every day.
Yeah.
Every day. And I went there from 6th to 8th grade, so all of my 6th grade
That's
year.
all bad. Cottage Grove.
Cottage Grove is all bad. I mean, it's like Junction City and Cottage Grove, like, right, together.
Yeah.
And Crestwell. They're like all the
Yeah.
same, right?
Trash.
What's it?
Yeah, it's a trash.
Trash, right? So when it comes to the experience of black folks there, yes. So anyway, I fought all
Yeah, I
the
love the
time.
city.
So now, your experience coming in, when you ended up in that fight at North Eugene, how long had you been taking the racist stuff and what was going on?
So, like, from the start at North, it was pretty bad. Like, North, it got me to a realization of, like, what it was being, like kind of an adult earlier, kind of.
Mhm.
My dad was really, like, he just let me do whatever I want growing up. So, like, I
Mhm.
didn't have a bedtime, you know what I'm saying? I come home whenever, but
Right.
it kind of gave me too much freedom. And then, like, with that freedom, I was out more, then that's when I seen more stuff. So, like, just with the, like, racist stuff.
Right.
But, yeah, I mean, I got there, and it was funny because the first dude I met was a dude named Preston. He's still my boy. He's from Alabama.
Uh-huh.
He's all, like, outside the school around the corner, like, there's, like, a march going on. And he's over here, like, chucking a 40. He's, like, the only black
Oh,
kid.
no.
I was
What
like,
is
what are
happening,
you doing?
right?
I was like, what the hell? He's like, what's up, man? What's your name? Like, and we just, like, kicked it off from there.
And that's
like,
how y'all became friends?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Me and him and my homie Ryan, yeah. Yeah, we were, those are my boys. Yeah, I still rap with Ryan, a couple songs with him.
So what happened with the fight? How did you get to the point where you were getting arrested?
Got to a point when I was getting arrested, I was just a cocky kid.
Mhm.
And I think because of my stature or whatever, people try to test that.
Yeah.
But I also probably put out a demeanor where I was a pretty hard time in my life, like dealing with all this, like moving from my mom to my dad's or whatever.
Yeah.
And but it was just like just a weird transition. Plus, I was just like a 16-year-old or 15-year-old kid just mad at the world. I don't know.
Right.
And then they would just test it, like if I seen them staring at me, like what's up? And then that would like inevitably lead to an altercation between.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So you feel like you started it?
No, I
No.
don't think so. No, when they're staring at me like in groups and stuff, and that's what happened. Like we got into a huge fight at the River Road station. They're all like, "Oh, kill that," you know what I'm saying?
Kill
Like,
that N-word?
Hang that, yeah.
Hang that N-word?
Yeah, oh
Uh-huh.
yeah.
In
they were-
groups?
no, it was one big group.
Yeah.
And it was like me, Preston, and someone else. But Yeah, they were like chanting like it was like 1800s and stuff. I'm
Really?
like, yeah, it's because I beat one of their friends or something. I
Right.
don't know, but they were all bad. But yeah.
So you got into a fight with one of their friends, and then there's a group of them that would be chanting, "Hang that N word, get that N word" to you and like a couple other black kids.
Yeah.
And so you, being what you're saying, like you were angry, upset, kind of testy, but you were bigger than everyone else, so they were like kind of challenging you.
And I've never been like worried to fight at all. Like
Right.
that's nothing that excites. It honestly like excites me. I've been known to be
To
like,
fight.
yeah.
So when you got into that fight, you ended up getting arrested. Did anyone else get
So
arrested?
I didn't get arrested that day. Me and Preston and Ryan, we ran over to Ryan's house, and I went to school the next day just thinking that I was gonna be fine, but it wasn't. Like I got into the office, and then um, like the principal at North, Mr. McCray, the cop was like there and shit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So y'all got into a fight, and then you thought it was over. You went to school the next day, like no big deal, and then the cop was.
Yeah, because
at
it
the
didn't
office.
happen in school. It happened at the River Road Station.
Right.
Yeah, and yeah, and the cop was just sitting there waiting for me and stuff. And
Wow.
he's like, I remember, I'll never forget that. He's like, oh yeah, he's like, so why are you punching people? Blah blah. They're about to arrest me, and I was like, well, they were chanting like N-word. He's like, so if I called you a stupid N-word, like, you're gonna punch me in the face? And I was like, probably yeah. And he slammed my ass. Yeah, he got
Really?
Yeah.
So I want to make sure that everyone. Okay, so you were a sophomore in high school.
Sophomore or freshman? Yeah, I was a sophomore. I did a year in JC, and then I did like almost half of that year. It was freshman.
Did they have your parents with you?
No.
So you got into a fight. They came to the office. This cop talks to you and says, "So you told him they were calling me the N word," and he said, "So if I call you an F and N word right now, you're gonna punch me?" And you said, "Probably."
Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, I don't think that's the wrong answer. So
Yeah.
and your parents were not there, weren't called in to talk about it, anything like that. And so you were arrested right there? I have so many problems with this, like just as a black woman, as a parent, as 4J, like violent, like all of it. There's so much. There's so much I could say, like without you even being here. Just I could go on a whole 45-minute rant about that. So okay, so at that point you get arrested, and what?
So, I only did like 2 weeks up in Cebu, but
Serbu is a place
youth.
for youth, right, detention.
I lived there. A lot of my in and out, but like that's what started it, and I just get into fights, and then I guess I kind of had a reputation of being a fighter, so people like test that. Wasn't shooting yet, so at least around here it wasn't.
Right.
No, but yeah, I don't know. It just fights.
Right.
But that's why that started the process.
So you were in Serbu, and then for how many years? Or you said months?
I did at least 2 years there, not consistently.
Yeah.
But like I went to the Phoenix treatment program for like anger management. That just pissed me off even more.
I know,
like,
right?
I was
okay.
I was in that for like 9 months. I did little 3-month stints here and there, and then until like the last thing I ended up getting in trouble for, and then went up to OYA, and that's when I did the 2 years straight.
Okay.
So it's probably been longer than 3 years I was locked up, because I was locked up a lot when I was a kid. Like
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just like.
It's just not straight. And then when I tell people like that, it's just like, oh, okay, you were at Serbu. Like that's still time.
That's still in jail for.
You can't get out.
Right. You can't get out. You're not with your family, and you're a child, and you're locked up for. So when did you get out? Like so you went in with like about 15. You got out what? 18?
19.
19. So yeah, I mean like going back and forth. Okay.
I went to the Hag home in JC. Inevitably back to the place that, like, cause like we used to. The Hag home is like a boys home for after you get out of like jail and stuff as a kid, like OYA. And we used to like throw rocks at them and stuff.
Really?
And, like, yeah, because they always try to act like they were so hard and stuff. They're like, hey, stay off our sidewalk, blah blah blah. I was like, you guys suck. Like we
Well, did anybody along your way at all? Were there any adults at all that tried to reach out to you and just like mentor you or talk to you or figure out why you were in the predicament in which you were in?
I mean, I had a couple people. I was just rebellious, I guess.
Yeah.
but I mean, not too many. I mean, yeah. I mean, my stepdad and stuff he did, but it wasn't really working like that.
Right. I mean, to me, I feel like when I'm listening to your story, I, in my mind, I want to listen to you and I want to hear, like, I'm trying to hear where in this space that there was ever a different narrative for you, other than like aggressive, black, frustrated, black,
Yeah.
big, black, frustrated, angry. Like this is the narrative that I see, but
Yeah.
like, I mean,
Not there wasn't too many people like that. No.
that were changing that narrative for you at
Yeah.
all,
No.
right?
I
And I'm
mean, I
not
had
saying that you
parole
don't,
officers and stuff, but
right, parole officers,
it was hard to get connection with them at that level. Like, you know what I'm saying?
right. I mean, to me, like this is what I'm thinking about. When you are young and you are in a place like Eugene, where the narrative around blackness is negative, like I think about my Instagram page all the time with this, because I'm a black woman and I'm not constantly negative. Like my life is full of joy
Yeah.
and full of triumph, right? Like I've gone through some shit and have
Yeah.
come on the other side,
Right.
right? Most black people have. Resiliency is a part of our DNA. Like this is what we do, right? But whenever I post something that's black and negative, like our pain and our suffering, I get like 400 likes. If I talk about black triumph and wellness, it's like 25.
Yeah.
It doesn't attract. It doesn't
Doesn't.
attract the same.
The
Right.
people.
It doesn't attract the people.
Yeah.
They want to hear our suffering.
Throw a thumbs up.
Yeah, it's like, oh. So when I listen to your story and I'm trying to figure out like when and where was there a narrative for you as you're trying to identify yourself as black, because like you said, your background, it wasn't necessarily pro-black, it was, all that, and then you're identifying yourself as black and trying to work your way through the world. So the way I'm looking at it, and I'm like I said, I'm old enough to be your mom in some ways. I'm looking like, what point did we give you something else to do? But you did it yourself. You took, now you got out of jail, right?
Mhm.
And you became a barber.
Yeah, it was a long road to being a barber. It was
Mhm.
like, what, 2 or 3 years after I got out. I
Uh-huh.
was just bouncing around from like gas station to gas station, really.
Yeah.
Acting like, I don't know, acting like those were the jobs every time I got one.
Right.
I was like, I could make a career out of this, and I don't know, for me, it might work for some people, but it just doesn't work for me. Like,
Right.
I couldn't, like, my homies would drive by in a car, and they'd like, oh, hey, pump the gas, and they'd have, like, girls with them and stuff. And I
Right.
was, like, embarrassed, like, pumping the gas.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, yeah, this ain't for me.
This is not for me.
Yeah.
So then you went and got yourself so that you could cut hair.
Yeah, I applied at Northwest College of Beauty, right
Mhm.
there in Springfield.
Yeah.
And I went there for almost a year, I think.
Right.
A little bit over a year, actually.
So this is, and to me, I'm just listening to your story. Like, there's so much to this. So you're going from here, then COVID hit, lost your job.
So yeah, I with like the whole COVID thing is I was working at Dudley's, and there was like 2 long-term workers there. It's over on campus, and they're all good, like good people, everything.
Yeah.
And yeah, Dudley just didn't have the room, like he didn't have the money, and then this when the start of COVID happened, so he's just like, I'm sorry, I gotta let you go. I totally understood it. though,
Right,
you know
right.
what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't a problem for me because I always been able to bounce back. no matter
And
what.
so this is how you got into your music, though.
Yeah, yeah. I remember actually listening to my brother it wasn't on the radio. It was like a CD in my car or something. I don't know, but it was just so bad. I was like, I was just like, I can't. I was like, man, this is like, I don't know. For me, like growing up, Eugene is like not the rap music scene. Everything else, people are really like talented here,
Mhm.
playing like instruments, stuff like that. But when like someone comes up to you and hands you a CD out here, most people don't listen to it. Like, they're
Really?
like, yeah, that's how I feel it is. Like, hey, oh, you do music? Oh, you trash. Like,
Right, they just
out of
automatically like,
nowhere,
you don't know
yeah,
what
just
you're
like,
doing.
oh, you
Right.
SoundCloud rapper.
Right, but
That's
you
what
know,
I
I
got
feel like
too.
it goes back to the narrative, though. It feels like you're living out here, white folks, because you're giving it to white folks, right? I mean, that's who else is around. So I feel like if they're not listening to the words as experience, as like looking at it as a lived experience and something to learn from, if it's not about your pain and suffering, and they look at you like, oh, you're not really black when you're in Eugene.
Yeah.
I hear a lot of white folks being like, and I hear a lot of black folks being like, people don't even see me as black. They're like, I'm trying to assert my cultural meaning, and people are like, oh, you grew up here, your mom's white, like you're not really black.
Yeah,
That,
what's the definition of
that
that?
defining them in a way that they're not even defining themselves. So when you say you want to be a rapper, they want something from the hood. It's so racist.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
I've always thought that. Yeah.
right. So I'm thinking when someone says you're from Eugene, you must be trash, is because what in your raps are gonna intrigue the level of cultural pain that we want to hear.
Yeah.
So when did you decide that you wanted to do, you heard your brother, you didn't think it was good.
Oh, yeah, Metric? No, he's not with it.
That he's not in, huh?
Yeah.
So you decided I can do this.
Yeah, and that drive kind of just, I didn't have anything else going. Like, I remember we were stuck in the house and the COVID thing, they're like, oh yeah, it's gonna be lockdowns, blah, blah.
Right.
Honestly thought it was like the end of the world, like type stuff when it first started.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, and then I was just like, I'm just gonna try music. And I sold my PlayStation and I bought a mic. And then I bought a computer. It was really bad, like stuff, like bad equipment. And yeah, I just started from there. I mix and master all my songs. I do it like
Yourself?
that. Yeah, I
Oh, wow.
record, mix and master almost like all my stuff. I have a studio at the house.
Okay, look, to let you know, I listened to his music and I was actually surprised. And I was surprised, not because it was good, well, that's not why I was surprised, but I was surprised because it was like better than I've heard out of the house, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It was like actual, something that you would expect to hear from an accomplished
Yeah.
artist. And I knew that, not that you're not accomplished, but I knew that you
No,
were just
I
starting
appreciate
off.
it.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
So I was like, what? It sounded very next level.
Yeah.
So that's why it intrigued me. So you've only been rapping since COVID started.
Yeah,
Like,
so
so
it was
less
like
a year.
Yeah, less than a year, so.
How, and tell me about I want people to know about your YouTube, and how, you got tons of, we're gonna put this down. You got, yeah, that's good.
I'm moving around a lot, I'm sure. My YouTube was like I was pushing YouTube hard, like
Mhm.
I was just like posting on everything, oh, go follow my YouTube. It's more Spotify now, but my YouTube has like, I think close to 3,000 followers.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but my Spotify I have like 40,000 monthly listeners.
40,000 monthly.
That's actually just started to blow up because I've been doing ads, like the Spotify ads and
Yeah.
the Instagram ads.
Right.
They've really been helping out.
And so you 40,000 in less than in a year. Well, less than a year. It's been a year right now, right?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you started after COVID
Mhm.
started. So you just like, and your videos. Who's doing your videos?
I only have one video, it was Real AF Media.
Yeah.
They hooked it up, like yeah.
Really?
That was for 23, yeah.
Yeah, 23. That's the one.
That's in front of my dad's like house. He still
Yeah.
lives there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and all,
Who's the little person?
That's my daughter.
That's your daughter? I was
Yeah,
like,
all
look.
around. She's the one who says, "Oh, Cartier, kill him," in all my songs.
Oh,
Like,
really?
Yeah, she's in all of them.
That's awesome. Is her hair red? Because I saw another video and it
They
was brown.
dyed it, and I don't know. It was like, and I don't know.
Right.
They do their girl thing.
Okay.
It just comes back. I don't really pay too much attention.
Right, you're like, it's alright.
Yeah.
Okay, but she was super cute. She was super cute.
Yeah, she made the video. She like everyone who always writes me about it. Like, she's a whole vibe in herself.
How
like,
old is she?
She's 6 now.
She's 6?
Yeah,
How old? She was 6 in the video, right?
she was 6. Yeah.
Yeah, she kills it. You guys need to watch. I'm gonna have a link to the video, but she's super cute. So she definitely is like in the center and running the whole thing.
Yeah, she's dancing, singing along. She gets to hear my songs all day. She's tired of them. But she was excited to be in the video.
Yeah, no, it was super cute. So I wanted to give you a shout out because for me, when did you find out? Like, when did you just decide, I'm just gonna do this and that's what I'm gonna do? Like, when, I mean, because you're actually pretty. Rapping is not like putting words together. There's a lot to doing this in a way that people can be intrigued, listen, and find the musicology in it.
Yeah.
And to just stumble upon like, oh, I'm gonna be a rapper, and then be talented in it is not a usual situation. Most people gotta kind of work at that.
Yeah.
And I feel like the way that you're flowing, it's not like you weren't doing it before at all?
No, I've never done it. I grew up, I have two brothers, and then they're both rappers.
Uh-huh.
And Josh 360, that's
Yeah.
my boy. That's my closest brother because he's close to my age.
Mm-hmm.
He was a senior when I was a freshman,
Mm-hmm.
and we've always been stuck together. But Matt is the older one that I always talk crap about.
Right. You always be messing with him.
Yeah, I always be clowning on him. But they both are rappers. Josh was like really good. He just kind of like the aspiration of football. He was more focused on.
Yeah.
Kind of lost that, but he's back to it. We have like a song that's pretty good, but we I'm trying to spark up everyone's music
Mhm.
because like it's weird when I first started this, like people were like really like, you're a SoundCloud rapper now, and I was like, I
Mhm.
promise myself's good, bro. Like,
Right.
and then I actually started getting it recorded, and people were like, hey, bro, that's really good. You like, you should keep pushing. I've had many of investors like, yeah, that helped me push forward to where I am now. Like,
Yeah.
this isn't like it was a solo show because I lost a lot of like friends that like really like it's weird. So when you do like something like this, like it's chasing a dream, like, and other people who gave up on their dream or they don't want to realize what it is, they force that shit down. Like
Right.
they're like, no, like what are you doing? What's wrong with you? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You just get so much hate. But now that like it's going up like really fast, like
They all
they,
want to come back.
yeah, and I can't lie. I put a couple homies on, like,
Right.
cause I get them sparked in the music thing, which I like to do. Like,
Yeah.
I have a couple of good friends I grew up with. Like, I got them back into their music stuff,
Mhm.
and like, I hear sometimes like, oh yeah, you got made my inspiration for music come back. So
Yeah.
it's pretty dope. Like, I do this every day, all day. Like, if you can ask anybody that like, messes with me, like, they know that when they call me, I'm gonna
You
do
found
it.
your spark. You're like, this is
Yeah,
what I want to do.
I've never had any commitment to anything in my life, um, like job wise, like it always be like, oh, I'll find something else. But like,
Right.
I know that I think I'll make it. Like,
Yeah.
no
No.
doubt.
Don't believe it.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, no
Believe
doubt.
it.
100% no doubt.
Yeah.
I believe that I could go my way up to the top.
Yeah, you've got to understand, y'all. I'm like blown away by the children. I'm not calling you a child, but I kind of am. So
Yeah.
like, because I just came from Portland with my son, and you guys are the same age. Are you gonna be 27 this year, or did you just turn
No,
27?
I just turned 26.
Okay, when's your birthday?
February 24th.
February 24th. You're my best friend's birthday. That's the same birthday. She got.
Really?
Yeah. So you're a Pisces. I'm a Pisces too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my birthday's March 5th. But so I asked all that because my son will be 26 in October, and his.
He's a Libra.
Yeah, he's October 10th.
Okay.
Yeah.
My daughter's is 14.
Oh really? See, see, it's all vibing. But the group, y'all's age. Like I have a niece who I have a bunch of family that's your age, 24 to 26. We had like a whole slew of kids at that
Yeah,
age group. We
yeah.
all different. My brothers and sisters all had different kids, and all of y'all are exceptional. Like in a very like self-driven way. It's almost even if you've had the life that you had, meaning that like nobody was actually feeding your inspiration, or you were, even though you didn't actually know it. The fight in you, the dedication to just being okay, like being best at what you were doing, just showing up every day, even though like people don't package that narrative into actual drive, right?
Yeah.
And so for us and our, we can look at that and say you take that and turn it and move it into something else. But with this little generation of folks, it's almost like y'all just have it. It's like you just have it. All we have to do is like hug you and
Yeah.
and move it through. You needed one or two people to say you can do it, or someone tell you not to do it, and you're like, no, I think I can do it, right?
Yeah.
So I just want to put a shout out because it's not. It's an exceptional thing to look at because it's just the kids now, y'all, 25, 26, they have an idea, they
Got
have
it.
a direction. We gotta flame it though. Like
Yeah.
I mean, it's in so many aspects of our black culture and BIPOC culture, indigenous people of color, the young like 25, 26. That's what I'm saying. Like Michelle Gorman, 22. Like these people are y'all are doing it. So when you're saying people are falling off the wayside, that's because they're not ready.
Yeah, pretty much. I got a lot of like a lot of fake accounts like sending me like death threats and shit too. Like
Death threats.
as of lately, yeah. And I know some people around here, bro, like, cause they be hating on that. Cause
Right?
I've only been doing this for a little bit, but I got a pretty good following.
Look.
And I know it, cause some of these people be saying some things that like they know me, like you know.
Are
What I'm
you
saying?
gonna travel?
Yeah, I'm gonna travel.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
You're gonna take it out and go?
Oh yeah, I'm going on tour. Yeah, I'm
Really?
doing all that. Yeah, my shout out my manager. Yeah, Woody. He's always believed me since the start. Like no payment, not even to this day. Like he's
Oh,
always
wow.
just helped me out. Yeah, and
He's like, I'm gonna get my payment
and
later.
he's more,
Trust.
yeah, no, and he knows that I'll get him. Like he's my bro. But
Mhm.
yeah, we just rocking it to the end. Like honestly, I have no point. I have no like other thing in my mind than the music. Like really, all I do every day. I'm addicted to it. Like I be writing every day when I'm out doing anything. Like I just write all the time. I always listen to beats.
Right.
My daughter's zero tired of that. But
Right? She's like, more
yeah,
beats.
yeah,
But see, that's what it takes. And you found something that feeds you.
yeah,
That's what people don't understand. It's like you do this job, it doesn't feed you, it takes from you.
yeah.
It's not gonna last
No, that's
long.
actually made it like, even though there's not been like payment, actually like right now, like with Spotify, I'll start to get paid like alright. Like,
Right, nice.
yeah, but like, before until then, it's been 7 months of just being broke as hell, like,
Yeah,
and just trying to make ends meet, kind of like that. And people, and that's the worst part. That's the worst time, like when you're doing that,
yeah.
because people are reading like, you got kids, blah, blah,
Right,
blah."
right, right.
And it's,
You got kids and you're out here trying to be a rapper.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that was like looked at bad at all. But now, like now it's starting to go, and people actually like those same people are bumping my stuff. Like
Right.
I can see my analytics, especially on SoundCloud. Like people be talking crap, but it's like, why you listen to my stuff 50
Because
times?
they want to find out how they can get to you. They're like, he's starting to
Yeah.
climb, get him.
Yeah.
Like, right?
Yeah, no, people are starting to. The hate is coming in more than it's ever had, and I love it.
I've noticed that I mean, I'm nowhere near that level of followership on Spotify, I don't think. I need to look. And you were trying to show me the other day, and I was like, I don't know how to look in there. But I need to see what it is. But, I mean, 20,000 in 7 months, I mean, that's impressive.
Yeah, I think it's like 36,000.
36,000 in
Well,
7
not
months?
followers; those are monthly listeners. So like followers, I only have like 3,000.
Yeah, but the listens that you're having.
But yeah, the monthly listeners, people who come back and listen, is
Right.
like 36,000. I think.
That's insane.
Yeah.
So, I mean, in 7 months' time, that's crazy. So I hope you better remember me when you get big, because I want a shout out.
Of
Like,
course, yeah, of course.
I want an MTV shout out, like, hey, Black Girl
Yeah.
from Eugene. I'm like,
Yeah.
BET, get on there.
Oh yeah, I will. Yeah, I plan on it.
Oh, I have no doubt that you have found a way to express yourself, and I hope that in your growth, you take what you've gone through and like spit it out and let people.
I'm starting to get more comfortable with that, and
Mhm.
this next two projects coming up, it's going to be more apparent. I
Yeah.
have something dropping on me and Kay Banks. That's one of my brothers. He's not my actual brother, but yeah, it's my
Yeah, I
brother.
know what you
We did an EP together, so it's
Mhm.
dropping on the 19th.
Yes. We're gonna
That
all
was some
of
real
this
stuff
information.
into it. Yeah, that's
Really?
some real stuff. Yeah.
Did you get with Vanessa Fuller? You're gonna be a part of the Juneteenth celebration?
I hope I am.
Okay, you
yeah,
put your name-
I wrote, and I filled out the application. So
Yeah.
I'm just waiting to hear back.
Vanessa, you gotta put
Vanessa,
him
what's
on. Yeah.
I'm ready to do it.
Yeah.
I've actually never done a show. Like,
You've never done it?
no, I have a show on the 4th of next month out in Portland.
Yeah.
That'll be my first show. But I have people writing me all day saying they're excited. It's actually pretty dope.
You gotta take it to the festivals that are actually starting to happen again, because
Yeah.
people, if you're not worried about it and you can do it and you can.
Yeah, I'm not worried.
Yeah.
I thrive in front of people.
I feel like I just met another rapper who's not from here, and he's doing the same on Instagram. His Instagram's blown up, but he has people out like in North Carolina and South Carolina supporting him.
Yeah.
So he's not getting a lot of support from here, but
They
I mean
don't
he
really
is.
support you here, bro. That's like,
Right.
and like my top cities is like, Eugene is like 45th almost.
Wow.
Yeah, Buffalo, like Buffalo messes with me tough.
New
Shout out
York.
Buffalo, yeah.
Yes.
New York, I got my, like my guy who makes beats out there too.
Really?
Yeah.
You gotta go out there and do a show.
Yeah, I know, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. That's what my thing is I was I know several rappers. I've had one rapper, M5 Marcus, woohoo, on my show several times, and he
Who is it?
M5 Marcus Holloway. He's got dreadlocks. He's had a bunch of shows, and he first was with Not Applicable, and then now he's on a solo on his own. He goes back to Non Applicable every so often, but he's really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so like I've had rappers on, and none of y'all know each other.
Yeah.
That doesn't
It's
make sense
because
to me.
that's the connection out here in Eugene. I think either it's everyone is so used to hate that they don't reach out,
Right.
because it's a lot of non-answered like text messages or like just stuff left on red, or like a lot of hate received. Like I don't like that kind of music. Like
Mhm.
I don't know, people like to stick to what they do, and like they don't know how to branch out. And that's what I was talking to you about on the phone. Like you gotta have it. Like you just gotta have the whole thing, like the whole package. If you can't bite the trend or bite the style,
Mhm.
it's hard for people to make it out of like a place like Eugene.
Right.
Because
Right.
when people look at you and you say you're from Eugene, if someone's from California, they're like, "You're from Eugene? Or you're weak." Like,
Right,
get
right.
that stuff out of here. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's just. I don't know.
So I mean, I think that I have a brother who raps, and he is from Seattle, and he had, yeah, he had, I want to say 5 CDs, and I have all of them, and they all bump. And
Yeah.
it was hard for him as a mixed black guy to get, he's got the whole thing,
Yeah.
light skin,
Yeah.
green eyes, does his thing, everything's all cute. And his rapping was like, it wasn't gangster at all. It was like all, um, like, it was him. He wasn't
Yeah,
gonna fake it.
yeah.
He was gonna be him. And he's an
Yeah.
intellectual person, so he was talking about like, just being like smarter. Like he was like going through life like thinking about it. But it all bumped. It all bumped. And so, but what it was that it didn't feed the narrative of like ignorance.
Yeah.
And he had a hard time. He even, oh no, like I gotta think of the rapper that he was, like he partnered with, cause he's huge, but he went to the other side.
Yeah.
He did a couple songs that would hit that mainstream.
Yeah.
And my brother just wouldn't, I feel like he just wouldn't, he couldn't do it because
Yeah.
it wasn't authentic to him.
That's true. Yeah. It like that's a real thing.
Yeah.
Like, I honestly like the music I make. I try to make it like unique in a certain way.
Yeah.
Like I don't use auto-tune like nowadays. Like run up a bag, like
Mhm.
that stuff. I just go in all in, just regular voice, and
Yeah.
it's been easier for me. Like people are like, oh, how do you like produce all your stuff, mix and master? It's because I don't put a lot of voice edits. I just turn up the reverb, like pretty much so it doesn't
Right.
sound like right next to the mic.
Yeah.
But I really am freaking out in front of it.
Right. So you're learning how to do your way to make it yours.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I hope that people are learning that, from having every story is unique and every story has, every life journey has a place where we have to discover ourselves. But you're 26 years old. You realize you're going to do this a couple more times, right? Discover yourself
Yeah.
at least a couple more times.
Definitely. I
Yeah.
know that there's a big one probably coming up. pretty
Right,
soon.
right. It's coming up pretty soon. But I like that. I wanted to give you a shout out because I think that the narrative. I don't know that you see it this way, but me being as old as I am, looking at you growing up, and the way that my listeners look at Black culture, I just want to understand what we're saying and what we're doing to the children that are growing up here, identifying themselves and trying to fight out of this hole, right?
Yeah.
You're fortunate that you're strong enough and that you could see a different way. But the way that it came up was through like this. You had to be isolated, left your job, and like, what am I gonna do? I don't have any money. Let me start some music.
Yeah.
It always happens like that. It's not like the best people. It's like unintentional.
Yeah.
Kind of
it's
fumble
weird.
into it, and it's
Yeah.
like your most authentic stuff that comes out.
I mean, yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was it was a long road
It's-
for sure.
Well, I think you're on it. I think you're dead on the path.
Yeah.
And where it takes you, I want to give you many blessings, and I want you to. I hope that Eugene is actually far behind you when you get there, because
Yeah.
I know what this place does, right?
Yeah,
And
I'll still come back out. Hopefully one day, be up in the Portland freaking the
There-
Nike store doing a music video or something
There you
like
go.
Drake did. Yeah,
you
I'm
know
like-
that. I mean, the stores down here. All you have to do is ask. These people will
Yeah.
let you in.
Yeah.
If you have your stuff like you do, just tell them like I'm Clippa.
For real,
I
I'm
wanna do a
looking forward to
video.
put me on the side of the building. Like,
Yeah, they'll be
I
like,
plan on one day
alright.
being on the side of that building, like one of those Nike buildings down there.
You know that one but right here on Fifth, they just opened up. I bet you if you
Yeah.
did a concert, it would bring people in. They'd be like, yes,
Yeah.
talk to a manager.
Yeah.
Yeah, Eugene is a great spot for those little bitty things like this that you
Yeah.
can put on your resume to pop it up a little bit
Yeah.
more, right?
Yeah.
I just love that you're gonna do it, and I believe that you will because
Yeah.
y'all, he's good, and I don't even look. To be real honest, I'm not even that much into rap. Like I like rap, but I'm not like where I can go back into like knowing the words and the name. I mean, there's a couple people like I love some folks that I know all the words.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is like my genre of music is really spread. So rap is one of them. But when I listen to someone, because I'm not like someone who's like, oh, rap all the time. If I listen to rap and you catch my attention, it's like, he's got musicology, like he's got the words, he's got a story, he's got the. So I want to tell you that if I didn't think that you were worth listening to, I'm not the kind of person who can just grab me because it's rap. You
Yeah.
got to be something to listen to. So
Appreciate that.
congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes. Anybody, I don't know that people have questions. I'm like trying to, I know it's Easter, y'all. We went out here and Carter said she'll be happy to watch your video. And Ruby was like, I was committed she was committed to OIA at 17. And my dad was talking about the sacrifice of Jesus, like having the way that worked. Julianne, I just want to make sure I'm giving everybody their piece. Now, I know it's Easter, and so we're going to cut it. We're not cutting it, but I want to be able to add the video at the end, right? But it's Easter. I know everybody's, not everybody, but a lot of folks are having an activity. You have children who are waiting on you, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, we want our baskets.
Yeah,
So
yeah, they're definitely excited. They're with the house dress. So.
really? All
Yeah.
dressed? You guys doing pictures and all that?
We're just gonna do a little egg hunt.
Really? Yeah. So, and I've got grandsons that are doing it or waiting too. But so I want to tell everyone who is celebrating Happy Easter, I want to say congratulations to Quentin again on your confirmation. And I want to say thank you to Clippa for being here.
Yeah, of
And
course.
congratulations on finding your thing. And I know you by this time next year, you're going to be like, I don't even know you.
No, I can't do that. I can't forget where I'm from.
Right? All right. Well, do you have anything else you want to say before we go?
No, just thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're very welcome. All right, you guys, this is Black Girl from Eugene. I appreciate you. See you next week. Oh, next week, this is going to be funny. It's not funny, but it's going to be cool. I'm going to have Raja, who's a mystical guide, do a tarot reading live.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, and so it's going to be my tarot. So I don't even know what's going to come up because I guess that's the way tarot works. I've never actually had a tarot reading.
Me either.
Right? And so she's going to do it, and we're going to do it live. So whatever comes up, y'all gonna be finding out just like when I find out, right? And so we'll be there next week, and then the week after that, I'm having a 3-part series with Lane County Health, and we're gonna have some real science and statistics and folks coming through talking about the history of with Black folks in the healthcare system, the good and the bad. But we're gonna have some folks who do the state statistics on. We're going to have some people who are with legislation around it. So this is going to be a 3-part series. So look out for that. But we're booked all the way through May, and April is going to be thick. So remember about nurturely.org, y'all. Just $5 will get us this grant. It's going to be amazing. Thank you for listening.
I know
And
y'all got $5 to spend.
I know, you got $5, you got it. And listen to, now tell them where they can find your music, so if they want to hear you. I'm going to have a link, but let's just hear you say it.
So I have my own, I have my website, clippacartier.com.
Clippercartier.com?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'm on every music stream. I'm on Shazam. You can Shazam my songs. You could
Oh, nice.
Spotify, Apple Music, Deezer, Pandora, iHeartRadio.
All the platforms.
Yeah, I'm on everything. You can just type my name on Google or whatever. and
How do you spell the Cartier?
So it's Clippa. So CLIPPA
Mm-hmm.
space Cartier, which is CARTIER
So it's space or underscore?
space.
Okay. And then I hope y'all caught that. But anyway, I'm going to have a link. So, okay, cool. And you can, and hopefully he'll be at Juneteenth this year. I'm going to talk to Vanessa, make sure that he's on top. Yeah, so you can get that going on. We got to have it, local representation. All right. I think someone just, my dad, African people living on this America must consider your powerful legacy. Please take a look.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, seriously. So that is how we are. This is where we're at. And I want to say thank you and enjoy your Sunday.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Peace out, y'all. I didn't read that last message. Oops. Let me shut up so I don't want to clip this. See, it's not that hard. So,
Nothing.
so this, oops. Yeah, we do want to end it.